So MAGA is melting down. I mean, they're having a hissy fit over this Trump executive order, this anti-flag burning executive order. So here are the headlines that are out here. They're somewhere. We got headlines somewhere. Headlines out there about this. There you go. MSNBC, Trump moves to ban flag burning despite Supreme Court ruling that the Constitution protects free speech. Fox News, Trump flag burning executive order could flip First Amendment on its head with new executive order. Washington Post, man burns U.S. flag near White House to protest Trump order. And in North Carolina, this is according to the Raleigh News and Observer, former NC candidate charged for the fire he set to protest Trump's flag burning. So here's my thoughts on this. If you're doing it in your own backyard, I don't have a problem with it. But if you're burning a flag that's on public property that the taxpayers are paying for, government office somewhere, then I've got an issue with it. But I had a chance to kind of look at the White House site that talks about this executive order. And Trump isn't going after people who, again, are, doing this in their backyard. He's going after people that are violating federal or state law, burning these flags, i.e., burning an American flag on public property or at a government building. So it says here, according to the White House site, today President Donald J. Trump, signed an executive order to restore respect, pride, and sanctity to the American flag and prosecute those who desecrate the symbol of our freedom, identity, and strength to the fullest extent permissible. To the fullest extent permissible. Now, some are saying that Trump is going outside of his bounds as president here by having this type of executive order. He probably would have been better off doing an executive order that dealt with people who were vandalizing public property, that sort of thing. Of course, flag burning would be included in that, but you should have probably done this under the umbrella of vandalism, destruction of public property. Goes on to say, the order directs the Attorney General to vigorously prosecute those who violate our laws in ways that involve desecrating the flag and to pursue litigation to clarify the scope of First Amendment the First Amendment in this area. Seems like they missed a word here. Pursue litigation to clarify the scope of First Amendment. You gotta protect that First Amendment. It also instructs the Attorney General to refer flag desecration cases that violate state or local laws to appropriate state or local authorities or federal authorities. Now, listen to the language here. Now, this also involves illegal immigrants. Migrants. I've got to be culturally sensitive, politically correct these days. Directs the Secretaries of State and Homeland Security and the Attorney General to deny, prohibit, terminate, or revoke visas, residence permits, or naturalization proceedings and other immigration benefits, or seek removal from the United States, wherever there has been an appropriate determination that flag desecration by foreign nationals permits the exercise of those remedies under applicable law. But here's the language for you. The American flag is the most sacred and cherished symbol of the United States of America. Desecrating it is uniquely and inherently offensive and provocative. Shows contempt and hostility towards our nation. Well, we're not a nation. We're a confederation of states, a federal republic. That's what we are. We start out as a confederation of states, a confederacy that adopted federal or federalist principles, a federal republic, But we're not a nation. Never have been. So this is referring to the recent protest in Los Angeles back in June. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that the American flag is sacred. Now, I own a Betsy Ross flag because I like the look of the Betsy Ross flag, and I think it's more in line with the original founding of this thing called the United States. I also have a Bonnie Blue flag, and I also have a Confederate battle flag, actually the battle flag of the Northern Army of Virginia, which really wasn't the official flag of the Confederacy. In fact, their quote-unquote national flag, if you want to call it that, looked more like the Betsy Ross flag, getting back to the principles of the original 13 colonies. That's why there were 13 stars on the Confederate battle flag. Or, not the Confederate battle flag, but 13 stars on the flag that was going to be used as the official flag of the Confederacy. Now, there are questions here of whether or not Trump is going against the rulings by the Supreme Court regarding free speech. But in the end, this will probably go back to the Supreme Court, and they'll probably say that Trump can't do this. But he can apply this executive order in the case of public property, government property. That's where I can see this executive order being applied, being carried out. But it's fun to watch MAGA melt over this. It really is. Because I said before, I'll say it again, Republicans, Democrats, they're full of crap. These two parties are full of crap. They've done more damage to this thing called the United States than God knows what. And we should get back to our founding principles, return everything back to the states, limit the power of the central authority, of the central government, and you would see a lot less division if you did that. A lot less division. I mean, it's not good when you got people burning the American flag near the White House or setting fires in North Carolina. But tell me what you think in the comments section below. And I believe in protecting free speech. This is an issue of censorship. You start going down this road, what's next? See, you thought it would stop with taking down Confederate monuments or statues. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Hitler, Stalin, Mao, Castro, they all believed in social justice. They took down statues. They burned books. They purged their society of all the unwanteds to create this utopia. The truth is, you're never going to have a utopia. This idea that, oh, well, we can't remain divided. Well, we have never been really united. And that's true for a lot of nations, because you have different regions. If you look, for example, like, let's say, places like Italy, or you look at Central and Eastern Europe. I mean, all the division that happens there, all these, rifts between these regions. So it's been going on since day one. It's been going on since day one. Now, we can unite around things like, trade, protecting our shores, that sort of thing. Certain values we can rally around. But this is an issue of free speech. And I think if you want to, again, burn a flag in your backyard and your front lawn, you should be able to do it. But you shouldn't be allowed to desecrate public property that taxpayers are paying for. So that's my 2 cents on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Go to X, Culture Confederacy, at CultureConfed1 on X. See, the cricket agrees with me. I've got a cricket for days now in my bathroom that I can't get rid of. I've tried to find this sucker, and he's just hiding from me, and he's making all this noise. So even he agrees you shouldn't burn the flag. So at any rate, I'll catch you next time. God bless this thing called the United States. Keep up the culture, and I'll see you Wednesday. Take care.